Morning guys, how are you? I hope you're all keeping really well. So today we're going to make our third recipe and it's going to be fruit scones. So this is a bit of the stuff you're going to need, all our ingredients and equipment. You should have the recipe already that has all the measurements of the ingredients on it. You're going to need your weighing scales to weigh out all your ingredients, a big bowl. That's what I have here. I've already put my flour in there. That's self-raising flour in there. You need a little bit more flour from the bag, you don't need to measure it or anything. It's just to put on your work surface so you can roll out the scones. Got some milk, sugar, butter. This is a mixture of cranberries and raisins in here. And then I've got an egg that I've beaten. And if you've got one there handy, a little pastry brush so we can brush the top of the scones when they're done. And then this, I don't have a cutter, I just use a glass. So if you guys have a cutter, great, but a glass is just as good. And then obviously I have a spoon just for mixing, and I would probably need a wooden spoon as well. I've got the oven preheated to 200 degrees fan, which is gas mark 7. And you'll need a baking tray that is lined with a little bit of greaseproof paper as well. Okay, so get yourself organised so you have all your bits and pieces like this measured out and ready to go. Turn the oven on and you can pause the video now and then come back to me when you're ready. Okay, so I have my bowl with my flour in it, and this is my butter. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rub the flour and the butter together. So I'm basically going to just keep rubbing the butter and the flour together until essentially the butter just disappears. And you won't be able to see the big lumps anymore. And it's going to take a little bit of a while, and it's kind of a two-hand job. So what I'll do is pause this video and I'll do this bit, and you guys can carry on too until you think that there's no big lumps of the butter left and you can't really see it anymore, and then you can come back to the video. Okay, so this is how this should look now. I've got my butter all rubbed in, so I can't really see it anymore at all. I know it's a hard job, excuse me, but it's entirely worth it. Next, we're going to add the sugar. Okay, so just going to tip the sugar into that butter and flour mixture and then just stir it in. It's fine. And then while you've got your spoon here, what you want to do is make a well. You see what I'm doing there? And just moving all the dry ingredients so there's a bit of a hole in the middle. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to pour in the milk, sorry, not the raisins first. I'm going to pour in the milk. There we go, into the well. And then I'm going to add in the dried fruit. So this is my raisins and my cranberries. I'm going to put them all in there. Okay, so that's all the ingredients in. And now what you need to do is just use your spoon and mix it up. Now I'm going to pause the video here again so that I can mix it properly. So you guys can do the same. Don't worry if it seems a bit wet or a bit loose or anything like that. We're going to turn it all out onto the work surface in a few minutes anyway. Just give it a good stir and come on back to the video when you're ready. Okay, so here we go. I've literally just mixed it together really roughly with a spoon, and then I've turned it out onto the work surface here. Now what we're going to need to do is just work this into a bit of a ball, and it doesn't matter if the other flour gets added in, it's kind of meant to at this stage. So just keep doing that, keep folding it over, getting all these little bits inside until you've got one ball, and then we're going to squish that ball down until it's about 4 centimeters flat. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to mix it all together into one great big bowl, and then you can go and do the same yourself and then come on back to the video. Okay, so here we go. I've done exactly that, rolled it all out into a bowl and then kind of squished it down just with my hand. Don't need a rolling pin or anything. Just flattened it down with my hand until it's about 4 centimeters thick. So if I put the glass beside it there, you can kind of see. Okay, and then I'm going to use my glass and I'm just going to pop it on the top and cut out a few scones. So there's one. Okay, it's perfect. Here's another guy. 2. And then there's the third one. Oh, there we go. And then just roll it back together again kind of like you did the first time. And do the same thing. Just flatten it all back out. And cut out another one. That's 4 we've got so far. Probably get one more out of this guy. Just squish it down again. So yeah, so that's going to be 5 scones anyway. And if you can, we might get another one. Maybe. Let's see. Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, so we got, what's that, 6 scones out of that. They look great. Okay. So I'm going to transfer these now onto my baking tray. So if you guys want to get that ready, and then come on back to the video when you're done. Okay, so here we go. We're on the baking tray on some baking paper. And now I've got my egg mix that I was showing you earlier on, my pastry brush. Just need to brush a bit of the egg onto the top of the scone. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll just give it that kind of nice glaze on the top when they're cooked. So just do that roughly with all of them. A little bit there. And when you're putting them on the tray, make sure that you leave enough room between them, because they might just spread out a little bit and you don't want them to end up joining together, melting into each other. So leave a little bit of room. About this much room is fine. You know, this is a big baking tray, but if you need to use 2 baking trays, you know, that's fine as well. Okay, there we go. So that's fine. They're all done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop them in the oven for around, I'd say 12 minutes. The recipe says 10, but you know, they're a little bit bigger, I think, than because of the glass I used. If you use a smaller glass, maybe 10 minutes will be fine. So check them after 10 maybe, and then see how they're doing. And you might need to leave them in for another couple of minutes just to make sure that they're fully cooked. You'll know by looking at them. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video now, and I'll post up another video with the finished product. Good luck, guys. Hope you enjoy them.